Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this preliminary episode of Distant Worlds Universe. Basically, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be going through the setup options for a new series I'm planning to start on my channel. And I'm not going to generate the game today, but I'm just going to go through the settings, and then I'm going to let the episode sit for a couple days, get some comments on you guys and what you think of the setup, and maybe make a few adjustments. There's a few things that I'm going to be pretty hard fast on that I don't want to change, but any suggestions on the game setup itself will be greatly appreciated. So basically what we're going to do with this game is we're going to be enabling the Shakturi storylines, and we're going to be doing it under the AI improvement mod 1.04. I've tried about 6 different startups of this particular setup. I've done a few adjustments here and there. Some things I didn't like, so I've cranked them back. Some I've cranked up, and blah, blah, blah. So I've been through about 6 or 8 startups with this particular setup. And I've been fine-tuning it a bit, and I think I pretty much got a pretty challenging game ahead of me here. So we're going to actually go through this, and we'll talk about a few things, and then I'll get your feedback over the next couple of days, and then we'll maybe get this series started next week sometime. So I guess we'll just pop into a new game. I'm not going to talk too much about the game itself. Anybody who's following me pretty much knows what Distant Worlds is all about. And if you're looking for tutorials, maybe check out Daz's channel. I'll maybe put a link in the description to him and stuff like that. So this probably isn't going to be a huge tutorial of any kind, but I will be explaining what I do as I go. So it's a typical thing for my type of playthroughs. So we'll just maybe go through the settings, and we'll just see what we're up against here. So like I said, I'm going to be using the AI improvement mod 1.04. I don't think I'm going to budge from this. This is definitely what I'm going to be using. So please don't be suggesting other mods, because this is what we're going to go with. So we're going to start a new game, and we'll start as a custom game as a standard empire, of course. And these are the settings I've come up with at this point. Starting with a spiral galaxy. I always play on a spiral. I just seem to like the layout of that particular galaxy. Because I got a brand new machine and lots of RAM and processing power and all that good stuff, I'm going to try 1400 stars, 15 by 15 sectors. It seems to play okay in just off camera, but we'll see how it performs while recording. And we're probably going to see this little recording window up here for the game. It's just because I'm going to be recording in 1080p. So I got this up here just to keep an eye on the time, sort of thing. So this is going to start off at 1080p. If I find the file sizes are getting too outrageous for my uploads, then I might have to crank back to 720p. But we'll initially start at 1080p and just see how things go. And we'll work it that way. So like I said, we're going to be a massive game. I'm making the galaxy as big as possible because I'm going to be putting lots of empires in this game. Yeah, I am not sure how the recording process is going to work with that big a map, and I'm going to have 19 other empires in this game. So we'll have to just play it by ear and see just how it works out. I might have to drop back to 720p at some point, but like I said, we'll start off at 1080. Expansion, of course, I start all my games in pre-warp. Aggression, we're just going to go to Restless. Chaos, the main reason I'm going to Restless is because I want some alliances in this game. I want to play this somewhat diplomatically, because this is going to be a hugely tough game, and I'm not going to be able to go it alone at all. So we're going to go with Restless because I do want to try and form some alliances. Difficulty is going to be extreme. This is going to be different from the other extreme series I did, because this time I don't have my zero tax exploit to actually kickstart me in the first part of the game. And from the playthroughs I've done so far, I've been dead last in every one. So this is going to be a significant challenge. And this is a reason why I want to form some alliances, because I'm definitely not going to be able to go it alone. I'm definitely going to need some protection packs and all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to be fairly weak compared to everybody else just because of the game setup I'm using. Research, we're going to go with expensive. That's where I usually put it. Normal's a bit too quick for me, and very expensive is getting a bit too slow for a YouTube Let's Play. So I just sort of split the difference there. I'm going to leave space creatures at many. And pirates I'm cranking back, because as we saw with the other extreme game, it's nothing but pirate pounding in that game. There hasn't hardly been any empire action in that game. So I'm cranking back the pirates for sure. I'm going to make sure they don't respawn. Basically, all I want is the pirates at the beginning of the game. Just a bit of a stumbling block to get going in the game. And after that, when we wipe them out, they're just gone. And then it'll be just an Empire-only game at that point. And we'll start them nearby. And with very few, from the test runs I did, it looks like we start off with maybe 6 factions total for the whole map. So it's not going to be very many pirate factions, but we will have at least one nearby. Sometimes there was one game where 2 were nearby, but should be just 1, I think, from the run-throughs I've already taken. We're going to go with normal strength, so they're going to be fairly powerful. So it's going to be a significant stumbling block at the beginning of the game. It was suggested that maybe I just do an Empire-only game and shut the pirates right off. But I think for a YouTube Let's Play, that might make the beginning of the series somewhat dull and boring. I'm probably going to be paying them off in the beginning anyways, but this will at least give us something to work towards the beginning game, just to wipe out the nearby pirate and carry on that way. And we'll be able to utilize them for some smuggling if we need to and stuff like that. So normal strength is actually pretty powerful on the extreme level. So we'll have to see how that works out. So far I've been all right, but I haven't actually been stomping them yet in my test playthroughs, so we'll have to see how that works out. Okay, so next screen, colony prevalence, I'm just going to leave it normal. This determines the number of colonizable planets and yada, yada, yada. Independent alien life is going to be rare. From the test runs I did, it looks like we're going to end up with maybe 6, 8, maybe 10 independents on the whole map. So it's not going to be very many of those. So empires aren't going to be able to just expand by overtaking independence. So it's going to have to be colonization only, pretty much. We might get lucky and find an independent near us. We might not. So that's the way that's going to work. This I don't mess with. I just go with the suggested. So 106 is fine. I've had to bump this up from my usual 0.5. I got stranded a couple times in those test runs, and I couldn't expand any further. There was no independence around, so I was pretty much dead in the water. One sector seemed to be pretty good. It allows for a couple of colonizable planets in our range, and it gets us expanding fairly soon, I guess. Okay, so our race, I'm going to go with the humans this time. I've had quite a few requests over the years to play humans, and I never have, so I figured I'd go this time with the humans. Just from a theme point of view, we are going to be using the Shakturi storyline, so it'll be good to have the humans, to play as the humans against that. And we'll probably go through all their traits once we get in the game. I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now. But we are pretty aggressive, and we got better spies, faster research, which will come in handy. Some resource bonuses and race victories I'm not too concerned about. Colonies, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that once we get into the game. Basically, our continental type planets will be able to research really quick, where other types are a bit more expensive to get. And of course, we got better intelligence, so we got more spies, more likely to generate scientists and intelligence agents, less likely for fleet admirals and troop generals, which is kind of disappointing, but we'll just go with it. And more likely for ambassador characters, which is going to help us diplomatically. Like I said, we're going to be leaning more towards a diplomatic play on this one, just to get some alliances happening, because we are going to be fairly weak in this game. And colony governors, and now special government, corporate nationalism. I tried this, and that is just a nasty government. Nasty, nasty. So I think I decided to go with military dictatorship. I'm just going to the next screen. Yeah, military dictatorship, which isn't too bad. We take a bit of an approval hit, but for the most part, I think it's going to be pretty good. And once again, we'll be the Caspilian Empire. And again, if you want to suggest a new name, I'm not against playing as a different named empire for sure. So if you got any suggestions on that, maybe I'll just put them all in a hat and draw one or something if we get a bunch of requests. And I'll just use my special logo here. And we'll start in the outer core. Home system is going to be agreeable. I'm going to put all the other, this was a suggestion by Icemania, the author of the improvement mod. We're going to put ourselves at agreeable, but we're going to put all the AI players at excellent. So the AI players are going to be considerably better than we are. So that's going to be a significant challenge as well, just trying to keep up. And size is starting, that's standard. Tech level, pre-warp, that's pretty standard. Normal, corruption, that's standard as well. And like I said, military dictatorship is going to be the government we're going to go with. I was thinking of monarchy because it's a nice halfway government. You don't take too many hits with that one, but I decided to go with a little more, something a little more aggressive. Hopefully we can pick up Way of the Ancients down the road at some point. So, and as far as other empires, I've got 19 other empires here. So it makes 20 total with us on the map. I've got them set to average and distant. I don't have anything nearby. I just found the game cluttered me too quickly in the beginning. Just putting them at average, actually, because there's so many empires on the map, puts them pretty close by anyways. And I guess we'll allow the independents to start up. If they don't get taken over, then they'll become actual empires themselves. So we'll maybe do that. And victory conditions. Okay, I've sort of set, I might actually drop this down a bit. Maybe I'll just go to 90% on this, just in case there's a chance to win the game without taking out the Shakturi. But I kind of doubt it because this is a huge map with many players, and we're not even going to get close to even getting to that threshold. So we're going to actually be counting on the return of the Shakturi storylines to get our victory. So we're going to enable all the storylines. Tech trading, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Do you want to do it? I don't really care either way. It might help us out in this game because we're going to be pretty backwards compared to everybody else. So this might be something we might want to do. I have noticed that I am pretty technologically deficient in the test runs I took. So that might be something we might want to consider doing. So we'll maybe try that. And what else should we talk about? Like I said, I'm not going to generate the game today. I'm just going to let this episode sort of sit in the channel for a couple of days, get some feedback, some comments on what you guys would like to see, that sort of thing. So like I said, this is just a quick run through of the settings, and we'll see how that works out. I don't think there's a whole lot more to talk about, other than by all means leave comments, leave suggestions, what you want to do. There are some things that I'm going to be pretty hardcore on. I'm not going to actually change. Like I said, the AI improvement mod is a definite thing we're going with, so I'm probably not going to change that at all. But I'm more than willing to hear some suggestions and see how that works out. So I don't think there's anything else to talk about. So we'll just make this a short episode, and we'll get some feedback on it. And like I said, next week we'll probably start this up with whatever settings we decide on, and we'll give this a try. I get the feeling I'm going to land straight on my ass on this one, and we might be actually starting a couple of series trying to get going on this. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out because it's going to be pretty darn tough from what I've seen from my test runs. Okay, so I think that's all we need to talk about. And yeah, leave comments, and we will come back next week, and we'll fire this thing up, and we'll get going on a brand new series of Distant Worlds Universe. Thanks for watching.